And he has this concept, it's known as active laziness. And it's where we fill our schedules and our calendars with all these projects and these activities and these to-do lists. We say we're busy, right? But it's really to avoid asking ourselves some of the deeper questions, like what matters to us? What's where we may be experiencing some guilt, where are we experiencing some overwhelm, right? Like, what do we really want to be doing? And people don't take the time to be still and just like answer that.
Wait, it's not that deep. I don't know. Soji James, I'm so happy to have you here today.
I'm so lucky to be here. Yeah,
Similar.
your vibe, my friend. I appreciate this invite. Appreciate sharing this experience with you. Like what you cultivated is just, it's beautiful and it's hilarious. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I feel the same way about you. And something that I have that you have in common with a lot of my other guests is I've only met you twice.
Literally, right? Like, but I feel like this in life a lot of times, right? Like you meet people and it feels like you've known them forever, right? Like it's an energy thing, right? Like, and every time I see you, you've been an absolute vibe. We're like kept in contact between those moments. And I'm just like, yo, this is my girl. Like she's a good human. We need more of these type of humans on this damn planet.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And also, I really believe that you are the company you keep. And your connection to me is Matt Mccoy. Shout out, Matt McCoy.
Hey, Matt McCoy. Come on, man.
You guys have been friends for so long.
We have, and we met so randomly. Like Final Four in Atlanta for 5 minutes we met. And another situation of just like, yo, he's a vibe. So left him that spot, and a year later, this guy shoots me a message. He's like, dude, I'm trying to interview somebody. Can I sleep on your couch? I hadn't spoken to him for a year. I'm like, of course, fucking why not? My girlfriend at the time is like, are you fucking kidding me? So guy lugs in with his podcast equipment and sleeps on like my fold-out couch in the living room, and like it's been love at first sight ever since, man. And actually, like the second time he came out, I introduced him to his now wife, who he's got a kid with. Like, so it's just one of those serendipitous like life situations. When you meet somebody who's a vibe, you go all in. You just go with the gut instinct.
That is the love story that I'm aiming for. Like, that is such a good platonic love story.
It's beautiful. I mean, if you wear the neck brace tomorrow, there's an opportunity. You never know.
It's like she was below Houston and she was wearing a neck brace.
Let's go.
It was endgame. And she was sober. I'm just like, hi. Like, everyone's worst fear.
I'm picturing you with it. You a crush. We'll
crush. But so, you're the company you keep. Matt McCoy, who I'm going to have on eventually, obviously, he really inspired me to take my comedy away from areas that were not like appreciating it. And what I mean by that is a lot of comedy clubs will have new talent nights, and they're really, really beneficial for when you're starting out, or even now. Like I would love a new talent night. Yeah. The idea is that you bring 5 people, and that's how you earn stage time. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to this club a lot, and Matt was always there performing too. And I would bring 25 people to come and support me.
Let's go.
We'd fill the house, and it would be like dead quiet for everyone else. And then I would go on doing so much worse than everyone else, and people were going crazy, and they're like, "What in the witchcraft?" and Matt McCoy asked me to host his show a few weeks following when I first met him. I've never hosted a show before.
Let's go. Stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's how we grow. I love that.
One of the guys was like, "You introduced me wrong." And I was like, yeah, but I'm doing it.
I'm fucking doing it. Let's go. That guy's a dick, but like, you made it happen.
He is a dick, and then I always see him, and I make a joke out of it. But I'm like, wait, I'm the one that got hurt.
Yeah. Does he complain?
I just say it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. I love it. Come on. I'm
like, mic drop. But he's inspirational, and the people that we surround ourselves are very important to not necessarily our self-esteem, but like how we view the world, how we treat the world, and how we think about ourselves and the relationships that we cultivate. Like, you are someone who just has such beautiful energy, and I've only met you twice, But the second time I met you, it's almost bookends. I see our relationship as a bookend.
It's not ending, right? We're growing. We're growing forever, Dana.
Yeah.
You're locked in. You're locked in, Dana.
What's a better metaphor?
That's a good question. I mean, I like the bookend. Maybe we just knock that book. Like we're just stacking more books
We're just
there.
a book.
We're just building. We're a book, and we're just putting more chapters onto that story. We're just gonna grow. It's gonna get more complex, and it's gonna be awesome.
I love that. So the first time I met you, after that, we were support each other, like shouting each other out. And then the second time I met you, which was a couple weeks ago, it was so cool because I feel like when I saw you, I literally was like, yes!
Isn't that like that enthusiasm with that same energy? I was like, I think we bear hugged, like we spun around a little bit. I had that same feeling. Like it's so cool to, as you said, like the first time, our initial introduction, but you're supporting each other from afar, right? You're connecting with each other, and like I feel like you go on the paths, you go, and then you kind of cross at the intersection, and you just like you kind of catch up, like what's good, and then we go back and do great shit. You continue to come and catch up and support each other. Like I love it. I love this energy, man. And I agree with you with the idea of like the people who surround you are so important. Like you need to get into rooms where people champion you, where people make you feel like the strongest, the toughest, the most confident individual. Because sometimes we lose that belief in ourselves, right? So when you have somebody who could just kind of put their hand around your shoulder and just remind you that you're that bad bitch or you that dude, like you want that. You need that energy around you. You need that hype man. So I think it's so big. Like I saw you, I was like, let's go. Like what's going on? How can I support? What's up? You know?
Yes. And also, like following you, you have a journey that I've only seen a very little sliver of. What did your kettlebell teacher and meditation leader?
I get everything. So strength and conditioning coach, and I specialize in kettlebells. I absolutely love them, and I think they're just extremely versatile, and they have something in them for everybody. And then the mindfulness side of things, right? So I'm really big into meditation, and just once again, it's not that deep. It kind of ties into just the theme of like life in general. I feel like meditation has really helped me to slow down, to be more present, to appreciate, like meeting even like epic humans like you and going all in and just realizing that this is what life's about, you know? I think a lot of times we hang our hats on the things and we give more weight to just everything that isn't as important.
When did you start this journey of yours? Like,
so for like meditation in general, or just even
yeah,
talk to me. I got a lot of stories.
No, I know, and I want to hear them because simply from your website, which is like a little tiny bit about you, you had a very interesting tidbit about what brought you to basketball.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, 100%. So for me, I'm going to say what originally got me along my fitness and like personal training journey, I like to call it my superhero origin story, right? So I'm in like the 5th grade, and at this time, I guess I was an overweight kid, but I didn't even realize it was because I used to actually roast people, and they used to look at me like, yo, my man, what's really good with you? Like, look in the mirror a little bit, my guy. So I was a little asshole for the most part. And I remember in the 5th grade, we had like a swimming pool trip to the Poconos, and I'm the last guy out, right? So I got my Pokemon was hot at the time, don't flame me, right? I got my Pokemon towel over my shoulder. All the guys are lined up on one side of the pool, all the girls are lined up on the other side of the pool. I feel like Floyd, like was it Justin Bieber used to walk out Floyd Mayweather. I was like, kind of bopping. I'm lit. I take my towel off. Everybody looks at me. Ew. Right? So like little Soji at that moment, if you could have a Harry Potter invisibility cloak, if I could have had a rocket ship, your boy would have took off. You would have never met me then. I would have been gone. I would have started a colony on Mars or something. You feel me? But in that moment, it was my first like body image, my first image of like, dude, like this is what I'm representing to the world. And I live in a place where people will try and tell you what is valid and what's not valid. Right? So that was my initial foray into that. And I started to kind of follow my brother around who played basketball. And for me, it became something I held on too tight. Eventually got good enough. I played in college. And still up until this point, I hadn't, at that point I was like kind of rail thin, but I still hadn't had this confidence about myself. And I went to college, played basketball in New Paltz, and I met my strength coach at the time. His name was Keith Kenny. And so he was my first time being introduced to weights. And I started lifting, and I feel like the things with working out and fitness in general, it's like this microcosm of life, right? It's this safe haven where you can push yourself outside your comfort zone. You can just put in all that work and just see this magnificent result, see this change. And it just really gives you proof of concept in yourself, the ability to go out and just achieve something. And for me, like, I started bringing this confidence into the classroom. I started bringing this confidence to the bar to talk to chick. Like, the energy was just, it flowed with me everywhere. And I was like, everybody deserves to have this. So at the time, my strength coach was like, he had brought like a personal training certification to the gym at a college. And he was like, dude, like, why not get certified? And if anything happens after college, you can fall back on this, right? So originally I looked at it as like this, all right, this is a fallback plan, and I'd get into it if I do, whatever the case. I was studying biology at the time, and yeah, a little bio major over here. And but I started, when I left college, I left school, I was still taking prerequisites to try and apply to physical therapy school, but I started training, right? So I was even at training on college, but training on campus, like training students, hosting like absolute ab classes, training professors and things of that nature. But when I got to the city, like, the fast-paced lifestyle of it, right? Being able to, play this small part in someone's life to help them find this confidence so they can take this and just go on to their lives and just lead this epic situation. It felt so good. So I just started trying to do this at a high level, right? So it was running all over the city. I'm preaching to other people, though, like core values and, get your sleep and, eat like this. But in actuality, I was working these crazy hours. I was up super early. I was getting home late at night. And I was kind of pushing aside the things that really mattered to me and were important, right? And then when I was 25, my father died of a heart attack at 52 years old, out of nowhere, unexpectedly.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate you. It's big part of life, right? Big part of life that we all figure out at different points how to deal with, and like it's ongoing process, right? But like that moment, that was like my meditation. You got to slow down. You got to slow down. You got to figure things out, right? Like my mom had introduced me to the concept of meditation in high school, but for me, like, I grew up in the projects in the Bronx. I didn't see people meditating to deal with shit, like to deal with struggles and trouble and trauma. So I had brushed it off. But at this moment, I'm running all over the city. I had to do a hard stop. Even though I remember when he had passed, I tried to act like nothing had happened. And I tried to go to work the next day. And I remember I had a new client come in, and I was doing one of those, they come into the gym, first personal training session. I break down crying, and they didn't know they signed up for therapy sessions that day. It was wild. Needless to say, they did not sign a 10-pack with your boy, right? They were out, right?
They're like, can I be comped for this?
Can I be exactly? They wanted my training shirt. Like they were doing the session. I didn't really at that time, whether it was thoughts, handling my emotions. I didn't have the proper tools to deal with that stuff, and for
How
me,
is one supposed to have those?
yeah,
also?
like. Wasn't taught that, and I feel like we aren't taught that. As I just saw this Mel Robbins post the other day where she was talking about, like, when you look at adults, look at these big 8-year-olds or big kids in big humans' bodies, because we aren't taught this for the most part. And for me, that was my first, like, pull up a chair. You're gonna have to learn how to slow down, right? You're gonna have to learn how to start putting more energy and focus into the things that really matter. Like at that time before, I was like, it was financial success. It was getting more clients. And then I realized, it's time with your family. It's experiences, right? It's being able to support others, right? Like, it's like, what kind of life do you really want to live? And starting a meditation practice at that moment really allowed me to go inward so I could start to deal with more things outward in a better way, right? In a more supportive way. So
I'm pausing you.
No.
That was such a good narration of your timeline. And I can see it. I see you at 25, and then I see you kind of recognizing that as your like pivotal moment. Yeah. And not that you're grateful that what happened to you had happened, but I think that there's so many moments in one's life that you can't appreciate until you look back.
100%. They say that, 2020, right? Like, hindsight is 2020. I totally agree with that.
And like, I wonder where you would be if, you just kept on the same path that you were going, if you didn't pause, if you weren't able to reflect and really understand what matters to you. Like, what mattered to you before that, right? Were you, like, money, you said, and just...
That's what it was. It was external validation from other people's, right? I was confusing movement for meaning, right? I was like running around just trying to pack my schedule with a bunch of things and to look busy to other people and to, I don't know, like kind of in a way giving away my opportunity for happiness in a way. I love what I do. Like I'm obsessed with being able to transform and help people transform their lives. But like I just feel like I'm doing it from a different place of enlightenment now, and just like a not that deep, right? Like when I talk to clients too as well, like the biggest thing I talk about is like this kettlebell we're swinging around. I'm gonna make you feel explosive. I'm gonna make you feel like a badass. But this is just one small piece of your life. Like what are the other cogs? How's everything else moving? You know, how's your relationship with your brother, your sister? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you going out checking in on your friends? Right? Are you taking some time in this chaotic world that we live in to try and find some stillness? Like slow down and really be able to ask yourself that question. You know, I think that's a really big thing. Like, what really matters to you? You know, I don't think we do that enough.
We don't do it, and so many people would benefit so much from just pausing,
Just slow down.
trying to understand.
Yeah.
So you're 26 now. I'm like right now.
No, right? Yeah,
right now.
time machine, right?
Yeah, just a baby.
Just a little baby.
Just a little baby. How did you start getting into meditation? What does one actually do?
So at that time, and I feel like my process of meditation it's evolved, right? But at the time, I started off with even simply Headspace, right? Like it's like an app-based type format, right? Like just so, or even like it was guided. Basically, like that's the general gist. Guided meditation from someone else, just kind of slowing. Because for me, I used to think that meditation meant you had to clear all thoughts. You had to stop the monkey mind, they call it, right? But as I evolved through it, I just kind of learned that, you know, they say that the average person thinks about 60,000 thoughts a day. So if you're trying to clear all those shits, you're going to be there for a while. You feel me? So like anytime you do drift, right, I began to learn, when you drift away, but you return your focus and awareness to the present moment, you right there meditating, right? Like, and then I began to experiment with different styles. Like you have like open awareness where like it's all about maximizing the present moment. So the sounds in the room, like the sensations you're feeling in your body, the vibrations in it, whatever the case may be, like you're really in the present. And if you get all like crazy with it, because like right now, for this moment that just passed, we never get it back again, right? But we're so anxious or concerned with regretting past moments or anxious about a future that hasn't happened yet. But in this very moment is where our power lies to go and create shit that we want to create, you know? So like it really put me on the path of like, dude, you had wanted to, I used to live filling a schedule, running from person to person, just with the mind of, all right, 5-10 years from now, this is what it's going to look like. And it really ripped me out of like, maximize the now. When you have a chance to tell somebody you appreciate them or doing a great job, don't hold it to yourself, right? Like give it to them, give them those flowers while they have the chance, right? Like things like that, just shifting the narrative of how I live life, you know?
I think also speaking in, you know, next year or next month, you don't actually know if that's available to you.
You don't. And it sounds morbid. But
it does.
It does. It's like there's this Buddhist, this is meditation teacher, Manoj Diaz, and I was saying in July, he put a post up about this country named Bhutan, right? And they basically, they contemplate death 5 times a day. And like I actually started putting an alarm on my phone. I got 5 alarms, and they go off 5 times a day. Like, you know, you got potential. Are you wasting it? Or you're gonna die. Like, and it's just a constant reminder. And it sounds morbid, but a lot of research has shown that the more you actually reflect on it, the more you're like intent about maximizing what you do have.
I love this, and I need to break it down because I feel at first, even when I first said like you're gonna die one day, I was like, oh my God, did I just say a bad word?
Yeah, we're told not to talk about it, right? Like we feel like we're these invincible beings, right? That we're never gonna reach the bookend, you know? And like,
Circle back.
Yeah, and it's just I think the more that we understand that, you know, there is this finite aspect of our lives, the easier it's going to be to step out of the discomfort, right? Step into discomfort, rather. Step away from the fear and just do the thing that you've been holding back on doing.
Yes, and it doesn't need to be something like traveling to Europe because you've never been, and what if you died tomorrow? No, it's like, who do you want to say hi to today? Or who do you want to tell, hey, I love you, and I appreciate you, just what you were saying.
That's it. The small gestures, right? The small hinges swing the big doors of life. Like, that's it. It doesn't have to be something massive. You're right. It doesn't have to turn into like this sisterhood of the traveling pants moment.
It could.
Right? It could though if you wanted to.
God
like,
forbid.
God forbid.
God
That'd be
forbid
great.
a pair of jeans fit me and all my girls.
That'd be fucking awesome.
God forbid we wore the same top.
Girls trip.
Right.
Be out. Come
Girls
on.
trip. And I'm like, we're going to Manhattan.
We're going to Jersey Shore party. Let's go.
Girls, we're going to the Lower East Side. We're having a Jersey Shore party.
I got the neck brace.
I think I want to keep talking about that because it's like, right, it feels morbid. It feels like a bad word, but it's realistic and it's naive not to think like that. And when you do think like that, you really can enjoy the days. So like, do you have your alarm clock right now set up? Like, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, come on.
And if you were lying, like, it's fine.
No. Come on. This is where you gotta, boom. So, we got, there you go.
Oh my God, the 6 a.m.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow, okay. Oh my God, the first one reminded me of a chain message that I would get in in middle school.
No.
You're going to die.
Oh my God.
Don't waste the day every day. Right. Stop waiting to live. Your time is now. You step into it every day. Love. Don't waste I love all of them. I don't need to say it. Don't waste your potential. I love this. Keep winning the day. End the day strong. You can always turn it around. How did you make today great? These are such good points of reflection, and it's not that deep to have these alarms.
It's not.
These are so good, Soji. Hey, do you have an example of when maybe one of them went off and you were in a state of like, shut up. Like, I need to just do me.
100%, man. Like, I mean, I got a 4 and a 2-year-old, right? And like, what mindfulness is really teaching me with just existing with them and being the dad I want to be is they can frustrate you at times. They can frustrate you a lot. And like, we as humans, I feel like we want so much control over things. And these are like little humans who are figuring themselves out and want to do their own thing. So this instant thing that comes to mind is like just situations with them where, you know, my son could come up to me and like he's big Transformers phase right now, right? Like, and I find Optimus Prime maybe 20 to 25 times a day. Like, I have to search for him. And for him, man, like when he comes up and he asks about his location, right? He'll come and sit on my lap, Dad, where's Optimus Prime? And after you've looked for him for the 23rd time, you want to just chuck Optimus Prime, right? You don't want to help him. But these are little moments where he could leave feeling seen or he could leave feeling dismissed, right? And there's so many times where I've kind of just been like, you feel the emotion, the kind of anger kind of welling up a little bit, but an alarm will go off and it'll remind me, it'll just kind of pull me back to the present moment, right? Like maybe it's gone off 5 minutes before a situation like that. So I'll be angry, but I'll think about it. And I'm just like, really, it isn't that deep. Like, boom, calm down. This is one thing that's a small thing to me, but it'd be a massive thing to him that he'll remember, right? Or it's a situation where a day has gone a little bit funky, right? That one at the end of the day, what have you done today that has been good? So I could always, even if it's been a bad day, I can sit at the end of the day and I could find wins, right? All right, maybe I put this post up, or maybe I did something that was a little bit scary, right? And I kind of find it, if I could find that like those 1 to 3 things, I can bookend the day and I can set the intentions for the next day in a positive way. So these alarms, and I'm not saying every single time they go, there's sometimes they go off and I'm like, boop. But it's hard to ignore 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, one will at least catch up to me, and it'll be like, all right, boom, let's course correct. And
I think that's so powerful. And your kids are so lucky to have you. You're going to have...
Yeah, they changed. They I'm lucky to have them, too. I was turned, like, we love each other, and we're lucky to have each other. Like, they really helped. They're another big pivotal moment that helped to change my life, to be honest, man. Like, so I'm blessed. I'm a blessed dude.
Did fatherhood scare you at all? Because... you are a big kid.
Yeah, I'm a big kid still. Like, I feel like a lot of times when people have kids, I just see a lot of people completely shift the focus away from themselves and they shift their identities, right? So, like, a firm thing me and my wife have always said is, like, you know, we're in the whip, right? We're controlling the whip. They just jumped in the back seats, right? So we're going where we want to go. We're going to show them love. We're gonna like coach them to be the best version of themselves. We're going to support them everywhere, but we want them to see us chasing our dreams. We want them to see us have our own friends and our own hobbies and our own activities. So I kind of, obviously, you know, I can't stay out and close the bar all the time at 4 a.m. in the morning. So like things shift up in that way. But I feel like they bring out the youthfulness. They keep me young, right? Like, and for me, like a lot of times my why with training I still like to play in basketball leagues now. When they're 14, 15, 16, I want to be able to like lace up and go against them. You know what I mean? And like be a dad I'm not too tired to get up and do stuff. You know what I mean? I'm active. I'm energized. So they inspire me in so many different ways, right? And also even things like being able to show emotion, right? Being able to admit when I'm wrong, right? Like they don't do what you say, they do what you do, you know? So that's another thing I'm continuing to learn. I have to like back up all the things I'm saying and actually show up as that person. So it's been a great thing that's pushed me in just so many aspects of life, you know?
You're just so strong to look up to also, and I'm assuming as they grow up, you'll be able to really, really see how the values that you have can like reflect onto them.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like this could be a real bad example. I was thinking about when it was like elementary, you got like the Tamagotchis and you're like raising them up, but like for them, I feel like right now it's like this, and the hand guy again, right? The hand guy. So they're this small and they're in our environment. They're like our little cocoon, right? But eventually they step out into the world. I'm seeing it as they get older. They're, go to preschool, go to parks and stuff. Like we only have so much control, you feel what I'm saying? But we just got to hope that everything that we impart right now does leave with them and, they're able to step out into the world, have their own values. So when they're in situations, right, like they can hold true to themselves and they're not swayed by outside influences, right? Like they can feel confident in stepping into who they are. So I think that's a big and it's an important thing for me, for sure.
Do you feel like you were raised in a similar way to like be independent and be strong and show emotions and...
Nah, it was the opposite, to be honest. Like, my parents, they got divorced when I was 12. And, like, they have these two completely different styles, right? Like, I had my mom who was always just like, you're my sunshine. You can get out and do anything. Like, you're unstoppable, right? And then my dad was, like, a Nigerian African parent. So his whole thing was, like, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer, you're a failure, right? So it was, like, this crazy juxtaposition of the two. Like you'd bring homework assignments or whatever. Oh, my friend's kid got an A. Like bring that back, return to sender. Like get back in the lab, right? Like, so for me, I kind of grew up in a place where it wasn't really okay to discuss your emotions. I also didn't know how to properly handle criticism and things of that nature. So, like my wife is actually a really another big jump in my development as a human. Like I remember, for example, like maybe it's our second date. Like she had got a place for me to come and meet her at, but I looked it up last minute. So I show up 30 minutes late. And I'm like rushing in. I try to bring my smile and my energy and try to just walk into the restaurant. She like grabs me by the collar. She rips me back. She's like, I wait for no one. If you ever show up late again, you'll never see me again in your life. And I was just scared. I was scared shitless. But it was like one of the first times in my life that somebody called me on my bullshit. And I just needed that. I needed to understand, like, you can't just be, you can't just, like, like dance and smile your way through everything. Like, you need to back that up with some organization and systems and, like, just integrity, right? Like, so, yeah, she like people, like my parents, going back to there, like, they didn't, and my mom was super loving both individually. But I feel like I also was raised in a house in an area where you just kind of didn't talk about it. Like, you just get over it. Just move on, right? And I want to do the opposite. So, like, even another piece, like, and I'm just everywhere. So, when I first started dating my wife, I used to, if
What's
there was
her
something...
name?
Oh, Kelly. Shout out Kelly. I love you.
Shout out.
If I ever had to talk about something that was bothering me, I had to write it down on my phone and slide it across the table because I couldn't talk about it. Couldn't even talk about it, right? Like, I used to have to type next to her and slide it. And and I look back at it now, I'm just like, that's insane. Like that's unhinged. Like, that's wild. But she's created this space where it's okay for me to talk about my stuff. And I've done this work with mindfulness and meditation and just, like, I don't know, see it, it's okay. It's okay. Like, that is real resilience. That's real strength to me now, right? Being able to be in a difficult situation, to ask for help, to be able to, when you're struggling with something, like my family grew up on the silent treatment, right? Like you like my father was fighting my mom. They don't talk to each other, just walk past each other. And that was a normal thing. Like, my wife came from a place where we talk about it maybe too much, right? Like, and finding somewhere maybe in the middle is where we could peacefully coexist, right? And it also kind of pulled me out of my shell and got things better. Like, so I've dumped a lot.
I literally could listen to you talk forever. That is so interesting, the writing it down and then passing it.
The words couldn't come out of my mouth. Couldn't be vulnerable like that. It felt like this block.
Can you even believe that, looking back now at how vulnerable you are? You would have had to type out this entire podcast and pass it to me.
We'd have been here for a while, and I appreciate the time again to hang with you, but I know you would have probably got me out of here pretty soon.
That is a really good example of just like to showcase the mental state that you were in versus where you are now.
Yeah.
How do you help your clients, not patients?
Clients. But I have some clients that it feels like you feel like a life coach, right? But we just create a space of, I think a lot of times, being first, right? Like being first to be vulnerable, to share, and to come from a place of, dude, none of us are perfect. We're all trying to figure this out, right? We're on this floating rock. We're trying to get by, and we all kind of want similar things, right? The more we could kind of support each other to figure that out and get into, we talked about finding your people, right? The easier it is to be able to escalate yourself on this journey. So with my clients, we just kind of, we create space, man. Like you come in, the first thing is you're not just picking up a bell. It's like, how are you doing today? What's going on, right? Like it's a genuine catch up. Like I have a plan that's on paper, but I feel like when I get in front of people, they're humans and it should be adapted based on how they feel, right? And I feel like a lot of times, once again, going back to the control thing, you write out this perfect plan and somebody's going through maybe one of the worst moments in their life. Like I have people break down and cry and like, dude, we just sit in the session. We'll just talk. Like, let's just hang out. Let's talk. What do you need? And I think that's powerful. That's powerful. Like when you feel supported, like you'll go to war for anybody, right? But you got to feel like the person I'm looking across, like I trust them, like they got my back. So I try to establish and create relationships like that before I ask you to go and, swing a 62 or 70-pound kettlebell around, right?
Do you find that maybe some of your people come with the expectance of only doing the physical, and then they're shocked at how much emotional, not turbulence, but how many feelings they had and weren't even like able to express or even willing?
Yeah, and it's a spectrum. So I wouldn't say everybody comes in, they're ready to dump everything, but I try to expose people in microdoses, right? So maybe they're starting out, maybe typing yo, I need to get moved, right? They're doing their Spider-Man lunges. All right, what's one thing you're grateful for today? What's going on? And it just gets you to think, right? So for some people like to go deeper, right? And I'll go off and then, respect people's boundaries along that line too as well. But some people don't even take the time to think about this stuff. So even just asking that question to them gives them a moment. I think mindfulness and meditation, a lot of times people think it's you got to sit cross-legged and be there for an hour. But I find we can find micro moments in everything we do, right? You could be washing dishes and think about what you're grateful for. You could be folding laundry and do that. So when they're doing their stretches and their dynamic warm-ups, this is a moment for us to check in, what's going good. Because I think as humans, we also have this big negativity bias. So everything that's bad and that's going off the rails in our lives, that tends to want to amplify. But we got to actively work to do the opposite.
Are you giving them homework?
Yeah. 100%.
And how often are they coming? What does a time with Soji look like?
So it varies. Some people I see once a week, and I give them homework for the rest, movement, but also my clients become family, man. They've been. I go to weddings.
I'm sure. You'll be at my wedding.
Yo, I'm outside. What's going on? I'm hyped. Don't get me hyped right now. I've officiated people's weddings. I've officiated 8 weddings too as well.
Everyone that you know, or did anyone?
No, it's I think I did a cousin's first, but then people saw me we want to hire you to do it. So it's just it's been the traveling, just officiating weddings. I got a side quest, right? That I'm just checking off. But I love humans. I love love. But yeah, even with the clients, man, it's exposing them to this microcosm of mindfulness, right? It goes back to the movement is important and feeling confident, strong in your body is important. But what comes next? What comes next after all that, right? And, if that's feeling out of whack, right, how can we kind of maybe shore things up in another area that supports you here, right? Some people come in and they know how they should be moving, they know how they should be eating, but they're stressed out beyond belief, right? So how do we implement actions that could help you manage stress outside of the workouts, right? So it's this big holistic approach of figuring out. It's a puzzle, right? It's cool. It's so fun. I love humans. Humans are so damn cool. We're so resilient.
You literally do it all, and you want everyone to be the best version of themselves.
That's it.
You literally just want to give people the tools on how to find the best inner version of themselves.
Yeah, I love that. And then sometimes, like maybe a tool doesn't connect with you at one point in your life, but you get the right analogy, or you get the right tool at the right time, and you're able to go into that bag and utilize it, and then you take off, right? So it's also meeting people where they are and just understanding, like, some people may not be ready to go super deep, but like, maybe I throw like a little life vest and they're kind of like clenching over the pinky, and like little by little we get them in, right? So it's just like, meet people where they are, be vulnerable, but also be willing to step back, respect boundaries. So it's like this little dance, right?
Is there a specific story or example from maybe one of your patients that you felt like moved you or touched you specifically that you would be able to share if you can think of it? Like, I would imagine that you have so many moments of pride and joy watching these amazing people succeed what they deserve.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if one of them maybe has stuck with you that you can share.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what comes. It's for me, it's like, even like it's micro moments, right? Like, because I can think the immediate things that come to mind that may not be. I feel like a lot of times people come in and they define themselves at something, for example, right? Like, I've got a lot of clients, like 30, 40, 50 plus, and like they feel like to them, their athletic era, their strong era, like it's maybe long past, or they never have viewed themselves in this way. So it's also really cool to see like badass women, right? Like, trap bar deadlifting 225 pounds, right? Snatching a 50-pound kettlebell up overhead. I feel like, honestly, my women are my women are badasses, right? But then even outside of it, outside of like this gym space, being able to support people through like difficult moments in their lives, right? Like, I'm trying to think of like what's a.
You can take a second. Like, we can always cut the white space.
Yeah. So there's one that's coming to mind. I'm just like, dude.
I don't want you to break HIPAA.
Yeah. No. I wish I was that official. No, I'm thinking about, like, I don't know, my clients, they become family. I got one client, she's young, and she lost a husband, like relatively recently, and just seeing her continue to show up for herself and continue to step into a new version of her identity. Like, she comes on and she's like a bestie, man. Like, we do hardship, but we sit and we talk about life. That she cares about my kids, she care about her kids and her family, and like, just seeing her continue to just uphold her strength and just reinvent herself in this new era of life. Like, that's the first person who just kind of popped into my head, because I'm just really, really proud of her. Like, I feel like loss with anybody, like, grief is this interesting journey that you think, like, all right, my dad's been passed for 10 plus years. I'll see somebody on a train who looks like him. I'll see he like Hakeem Olajuwon. I'll see him like do a dream shake in like a commercial, and it just hits me, right? But then it passes in waves, and I'm talking to my kids about that stuff. Like, so it's just it's I don't know. Her resilience is just inspires the shit out of me. Inspires the shit out of me. So she's one person who just came to the top of mind. Then I have other clients who push to other things, man. Like, I remember when I was doing in-person stuff, I was training one woman. She was going through med school and just residency. I felt like it was crushing her. And I remember her coming in one day and just breaking down crying. We just sat, we just held each other, and we just talked. We talked for an hour, right? Like, I also think that is strength. Like, I think being able to just sit there and put your feelings and emotions on display, put the front down, and just ask for what you need. I think that's really, really difficult. Really difficult.
I've been in I'm like, I'm going to start crying.
I love you. I appreciate you.
I'm like, if you've listened to the last 7 episodes, I'm grieving.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to cry at some point, because you just make me emotional. But I think that for you to be with someone and be able to walk someone through such an intense loss, but also show up as a friend, a coach, a mentor, is just so beyond beautiful. I had my mom on last week, and she's had so much loss. And we were talking a lot about like what grief is. I recently lost my coworker who was so
sorry about
important to me.
So sorry about that.
It's okay. but you don't understand it until you go through it. And for context, also, my grandma passed a couple months ago. I'm like, I just need to add it.
She sounded like such a badass. I
She
listened to
was-
that episode and the clip with her starting off. That made me, that hit my heart so heavy, so deep. She sounded like such an epic fucking human, man.
So epic and just so supportive. And my mom was saying, like, because she's a therapist and she talks through a lot of my emotions with me. She's like my Soji, kind of. But, like, you're also my Soji. Everyone needs at least 7 Sojis in their life.
We need more. We need more of your mom. What's your mom's name?
Jill.
Jill,
She's
you're a rock star.
amazing.
Man.
And also, like, my tear ducts don't regulate. So, like, even if I'm done crying, the tears still come. So just, like, don't mind them.
No, I don't mind them at all. This vulnerability. We're here.
I'm so vulnerable. She was saying that, like, grief is not about what you had with the person. It's about what you won't have.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding, like, we had so many good memories. We laughed so much. They were, like, such a pivotal part of my life. And it's like, but I'm not sad about that. Why am I in so much pain? What I'm not getting with them now is that's loss. Yeah. Like, you lost that.
Yeah. That resonate with me deeply.
Yeah.
I've been my little guy. I'll say this, like, just a little while back, but the kids they were being just low jerks, man. Like, getting them ready for school it was just like a disaster. And my oldest son is just, I feel like when you have toddlers too, like, you open up a bottle, they want to open up the bottle, they flip out, right? Like, you give them the red Starburst, they go crazy, right? Yeah. So he's flipping out, and it was just a tough morning for me, and I just started crying myself. And then he gets right up, he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was just like, "I miss my dad," right? Oh. Like, and exactly what you just said in terms of loss and what you're, grieving what you don't have, right? I just remember just being with them, just when I was younger, just always thinking I would have him to be here for this situation, and just taking that for granted, right? Like, so you said that hit me heavy. Like, it's so true. That's powerful.
And I think we keep being like, and what you just said, but like, and I resonate with what you just said, because circling back to what we originally were talking about of 5 years from now is not promised. Yeah. 10 years from now, even me speaking right now, like, God willing, I'll have both my parents in 10 years, but maybe I won't. And so the importance of spending time with them now, if that's what I want, is so crucial. This is interesting. Also, I want to share this too. This weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend. Okay. Usually I'm partying. Okay. This was the first weekend where I was like, wait, I need to hang out with my parents. And
I love that.
It was a really cool feeling of, like, really recognizing what is so important, of, like, I don't want to be anywhere else than with you guys right now.
That's beautiful.
And you don't need to want that.
Yeah.
But you need to be doing what you want.
And that's it right there. That is it, right? Like, it isn't what feels cliche or what should be the right answer. Like, in your heart, it's got to be what you need and what you desire, what you want. Like, I was reading this. This is Buddhist or old Buddhist monk. His name is Sagyal Rinpoche, right? I think he's passed, and he has this concept. It's known as active laziness, and it's where we fill our schedules and our calendars with all these projects and these activities and these to-do lists. We say we're busy, right? But it's really to avoid asking ourselves some of the deeper questions, like, what matters to us? What's where we may be experiencing some guilt, where are we experiencing some overwhelm, right? Like, what do we really want to be doing? And people don't take the time to be still and just, like, answer that, right? Like, I think that's so important, what you just said. Like, what do you want to do? And I'm so happy that you're able to do that.
Thank you.
So powerful.
Stillness is scary.
And that's a big piece, right? It's not like we don't slow down because we're, like, bad people or anything, right? Like, but you're right. Like, when you sit with your own thoughts and you sit and you have to answer these questions, it could be really hard, and some tough things could come to the surface, right? But I feel like the thing is, on the other side of this abyss, this difficult questions or conversations, there's a lot of diamonds to be had. If that makes sense. Terrible kind of correlation there, but there's a lot of riches to be found on the other side that aren't monetary,
Yeah, and I have a VP at my company who always says, there's no such thing as busy. I will make myself available for the things that I want to be doing.
That's it. So what do you prioritize?
Right.
You know?
I'll think about when a friend will reach out, and yeah, I have a lot of things on my calendar. If I want to see that friend, I promise you I'm seeing that friend.
You make it happen. Right? It's interesting how we could do that, right? Like,
do you ever catch yourself being like, I'm busy, I can't?
Oh, 100%. And I'm trying, like, when people ask me, like, how you doing, I'm trying to just really be more authentic now. And just, like, don't give these filler spaces, right? And, like, spend more time with the people who, they value me, they uplift me, but also, like, I don't know, like, I used to just, right, like, kind of fill calendar and space, once again, like, for this external validation, right? Like, to seem busy. And now I'm just at a place of, like, when I get the time, I want to spend it with people who I admire, who I'm appreciative of, I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Like, I'll jump on a train and hang out with my girl forever. Like, you're awesome. You're a rock star. Seriously.
Thank you. I want to know what You're Not That Deep is. As if we didn't just cover a million things. Like, maybe don't make me cry, but...
I'm going to say, man, it has to be filling your schedule and your time with things that don't truly matter, right? Being busy to appear like you're busy to other people, and you're not really spending the time on the things that really matter to you. I was reading this other book. I'm reading this book now, The 5 Types of Wealth. And I'm forgetting the exact philosopher who said this, but he says that whether you realize it or not, you're nearing the end of a specific type of moment in your life. It could be, right? Like, it could be a routine. It could be time with a person. It could be, time doing an activity or hobby that you love doing, but you may have done it for the last time without realizing you're doing it.
Oh my God.
You feel me? Like,
yeah, I just said I asked you not to make me cry.
I'm sorry. Like, that, I read that and I was like, yo, like.
No,
it gave me chills. And I was like, man, like, how am I, wow, it's crazy, right? And, like, for me, it's like, damn, like, I could be busy because it's cool to say I'm busy to people and I'm overbooked, right? But then am I actually spending the time doing the things that are going to, like, create the core memories in my life, right? Like, I was able to, like, I'm able to open up my schedule and go to my son's field day, right? Like, I did that 2 days ago, and just when he has the little baton, he's running, he sees me there, the look on his face. I like, another thing I did at the start of this year, one of my mentors, he was like, he was asking for, he did it at the end of last year, right? He asked for a review of how was your 2024. And he was like, one activity you can do is go back through your camera phone and look at your pictures. And I don't take any pictures at all, right? And I was like, holy crap, I don't do that. So one thing I've been trying to do this year is take a picture a day if I can to help remember a moment, right? So not just the good, like, I also got a picture of, like, we had, like, what is this, the throwing up, what is that thing called?
Norovirus.
Oh my gosh, terrible. We had noro, so I got
Whole
a picture
family?
of the pot. Whole family. Like, we get it once a year. We get it, it's terrible. It's terrible. So, like, I have a picture of the pot there, but it just reminds you of these moments, right? And, like, for me, it's like, I want to have more of those moments and more of these pictures in my schedule, as opposed to having just this busy space that says I was just doing something just to do it, So if this is going to be some of the last moments I'm doing something, whatever it is, I want to remember those things. I want to be fully present for them. And I'm really trying to live my life in that way now. And, I make mistakes, I mess up, but I'm trying my best.
Yeah, I want you in my ear at all times. Like, I want.
Feelings mutual. Mutual.
No, you would not be okay if you had me yapping in your ear all day.
You're a kind light, my friend.
No,
you're a hilarious kind light. I'd laugh all the time. I'd be uplifted. I'd be smiling. I think I'd be good. Academia.
I'm so beyond appreciative of you for like, you're just so special.
I agree. Feelings the same. Feelings mutual. I'm really appreciative of you having me here. Appreciative to call you a friend. I'm appreciated to continue to write our book.
No, I'm loving our book, and, like, it's not smut, but it's good. And I can't wait to just watch you continue to succeed, but also give others the strength to find who they are, and that's so beautiful. Like, everyone needs to think like you.
I feel like I said the same with you. We talked the last time we got together.
Again, like, people would not be okay if they thought like me. But where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Instagram at soji.james1. You can find me at sojijames.com. If you're interested in learning to meditate, I have like a Monday group. It's virtual. It's called the Meta Club. We do Mindset Mondays, and it's a great way to kind of build a sustainable, simple, fun, effective mindfulness practice for yourself, but also set your intentions for the week, right? So we meet, we kind of reflect, and we get out in the week, we push in a headlock. You feel me? So I'm just trying to grind and grow and connect with just more epic people like you, my friend.
I want to do a Not That Deep Soji like mindfulness meditation.
I would love it.
And then everyone could get totes.
Come on. Come on. Come on. I got to get a picture with you with the tote. You feel me?
No, duh. Like once I clean my face up. I love you. Thank you.
I love you too. Thank you so much, my friend.
Now we end and I hug and I'm not going to cry.
Come on.
You're
Thank
just
you
so
much.
wise.
Thank you so much.
I love everything you have to say.
It is mutual. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your vulnerability. Like, you're epic. You're epic.
Can't stop crying.
You were
As
epic,
Chris,
my friend.
all I do is cry. Literally every episode, like I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I'm just crying. And I'm in therapy, like I'm just going through it.
But I think that's a good thing. I think being able to, once again, like I was saying before, man, like learning to get this stuff out and understand that is strength. It's just it's so uplifting and so powerful.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you being vulnerable in the space with me and just sharing all this. Like,
no, yeah.
Seriously.
I also feel like, I don't know if we talked about this. I've been not fully sober. Just I haven't drank since August, and like it's so sobering, and like you cannot block anything.
That's the thing.
And it's so scary.
Yeah. That's the thing with stillness too, right? Like, all the distractions that we normally kind of go to when you're just present with your thoughts, it's hard. But I love that you're sharing them, you're talking about it, you're getting it out. That's very important. Very important.
Sometimes I feel like I was raised in a house where like emotions weren't allowed because I'm so emotional now. You would think I'm like rebelling against the industry I was once raised. But like, no, we were raised to be so emotional, and like I just haven't really stopped. But I just think like you just create such a safe space, and like I really want to do Not That Deep meditation. Like
I would love that.
That would be so fun.
I would love it. Seriously.
It would be all my friends.
I would love it.
I'd be like, giveaway, it's all my friends.
I would love it. Seriously.
Okay.
Seriously.
We could pick a date. Chris, will you come?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris.
I won't even cry.
She usually makes me leave before she cries.
No, I'll make him leave because I just like. And then when people listen, they're like, Dana, thank you so much for your vulnerability. That was really actually lovely to listen to. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, because you're fucking real. And I'm like,
that's it though, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I guess.
Seriously though, man. Seriously, man. Like, I feel we're all going, like, I said, I cried 2 days ago. I just thought about my dad. Like, and I think about that when you said that part about grieving what you no longer have access to.
Yeah.
That it hits me in waves, man. And it's been 10, 11 years. And, like, you know, my kids are now talking accent about him, right? Like, what was he like? And then, you know, sometimes, too, like, they don't get the concept of death. Like they'll stomp a bug. So you going with your dad? I'm like, yo, chill. Like, too soon. Yeah, like, oh, damn, too soon. You little shit. But, like, yeah, you get it. But it's just, like, now I can laugh, like now I can giggle more about it, right? But it's still it's been this process of like, it's on and off, right? Like that's just life.
Yeah. I saw a really good quote. It was, like grief is like when if you go to the gym and there's like a 500-pound weight. If you keep working out and you keep trying to lift it, you might not be able to lift it, but you're getting closer and closer and closer. The weight is not changing, but you're getting stronger.
That's it.
And I was like, damn. That's so true.
That's progressive overload, but that's so cool.
Like it's not changing, but you are changing the ways in which you come at it.
Yes.
I thought that was so beautiful.
That's powerful.
I wish I said that. Are we still rolling? Oh yes, we're still rolling.
Let's go.
Come on,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.